Brew Strong is brought to you by Blichmann Engineering, home of the top-tier brewing stand. Visit them online at blichmannengineering.com.
Brewers, it's time for the beer radio you've been looking for. This is the show that dispels myths, tackles the toughest topics, and makes no apologies for geeking out on beer. Hosted by two guys that drink before they think. Jamil Zainasheff and John Palmer. This is Brew Strong.
Hey, howdy. Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters.
Greetings, Cretans.
Here you go.
Greetings from flyover country.
From Cretan country.
The head Cretan himself.
The head Cretan himself. The John Cretan Blichmann is here in the studio with us. He is gracious with his presence once again.
And great to be back.
Yeah, I think you like us. You like the experience here of being in the studio. Yes?
I do. It's
fun.
A strange fascination.
Right. It's like going to an accident and then some stranger coming up alongside you and giving you a handy. Yes?
Yeah.
Is that what this is like being in the studio?
Is that handy female by chance?
No.
It's kind of more like walking up to a hornet's nest and poking it.
With your penis, yes. Is that what being on the show is like?
Poking a stick at a badger. Poking a stick at a badger. Let's go with that.
Yeah, if the stick is... no, let's not go there. This kind of fine sponsorship you could have, too, if you had been on the ball and not let John Blichmann grab all this glory early on. I'm just saying.
Value is impressive.
Immense. Immense. I'm saying you are getting you're getting like at least a couple of cents on the dollar of your money's worth.
And that's more than I anticipated, and
right,
I'm good with that.
Right. It's like giving your money to the government. I mean, what do you really expect back on it? You don't expect much back on it, right?
Oh,
you don't really expect it to help a lot of people. You're fine with paying taxes just as long as it's used in a reasonable and responsible way to actually help people that are in need.
I'm just fine with paying taxes as long as they don't audit me.
As long as you don't go to prison. Right. I'm not sure you do well in prison. You're too nice a guy. I think
I just
you're
tell
too pretty.
him, hey,
you're
dude,
too pretty a man.
Don't rape me because I can brew beer.
Right. No, that's the thing. This is why I was telling somebody, I tell my police friends or whatever, I'm like, I think I'd do okay in prison. And they're like, yeah, why? I'm like, because I could make really good, like, jail wine. And they're like, yeah, you'd probably do all right. I'm like, yeah, this would help me survive. I tell you, if you want to improve your jail wine making skills, check out BlichmannEngineering.com. You got some jail wine making. You got like a stainless toilet available on BlichmannEngineering.com.
We got it all.
Yeah, you got it all. Everything you need in order to make a great prison hooch. Maybe even great homebrew. Who knows? Or a great commercial beer. They got it all. They do everything from the more entry level homebrew with the Anvil Brewing and the more economy value line.
Yep.
To the high end Blichmann Engineering line. To small nano brewery. If you want to go commercial, or if you want to just blow off the whole government thing of only brewing 100 or 200 gallons a year. They've got the 1 barrel, the 2 barrel type of systems as well.
And
yes,
commercial line up through 40 barrels.
40 barrels now. Jesus Christ!
40 barrel brew fermenters and up to about 20 barrel brew houses.
I'm like a freaking mushroom around here. You don't tell me anything.
That's because I'd like to show it on the show here. So they
zip up
the
put it back in.
Blichmann Pro Series.
Oh, so if you're a Blichmann fan, and I will tell you this, one of the fundamental things that is helpful when you're a brewer is keeping with a system that you're familiar with, or a technique or a method that you've mastered. When you radically change your equipment, or that requires you to brew a different way, that can really kind of throw you off. So, an opportunity to start with Blichmann and continue with Blichmann as you chase your dreams of going pro, that might be something worthwhile there. If there's methodologies and generally, I would say, since you're the manufacturer of all that, I bet you carry over some of your philosophies from one set of gear to the pro set of gear. Yes,
indeed. I am not going to put my name on something that doesn't have that same quality and passion into it.
Right.
I'm extremely particular on suppliers and design and just general the quality of it, and very, very thrilled with the quality of these products. And so it's kind of nice to have somebody goes and makes that investment to start a small business and become a pro brewer. Just to let them know that there's somebody that they've got experience with, that they've trusted, that is going to be there for them to create these new commercial products for them, and make sure they get that same quality they expect.
Well, and that's one of the things I love about you is you truly actually care about your customers, and you believe that you should provide them a value, and you should be taking care of them. You should that what they do and their success actually matters to you. You want to see the people that use your equipment be successful. Not for you, it doesn't go to, I collected the money, I'm done, I'm on to the next one. It's, I want to know how that person did. I'll tell you this, if you bought Blichmann gear, I want you, and especially because you bought it because of the show, I want you to email John at BlichmannEngineering.com and tell him about your experience with the gear. Good or bad, fill him in. He'd love to hear it. Yeah. I think he gets a kick out of anything bad as well as good, just because it gives him an opportunity to improve things. He's all about improvement and doing things, the best possible way. So,
Indeed.
Well, this is
tell
this is
him
the
about
gear
how you,
that John brews on as well.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's not like he's just making something that, there's people who are making just stuff that they want to capitalize on the market. They don't actually brew and don't actually give a crap about, the brewer. So I raise my glass to you, my friend. I appreciate that you do that.
Cheers.
All right. What are we talking about today?
Triple mashing.
Triple mashing. So back
last time,
we had a double mashing, right?
Yes.
And we supposed, hey, how about triple mashing? How about quadruple mashing? And we told you to go forth and have your minions knock out a triple mash. And you said, well, you don't have the minions to do that. So you did it yourself.
I did. I started at 5 in the morning and didn't finish till like 4 in the afternoon.
Well, that makes perfect sense. I don't
there were
see
a
the
few
problem
distractions in between where I had to go yell at the kids and walk the dogs and all that.
Any of those a
stuff.
Euphemism for something else?
No, there was no monkey spanking. None of that going on.
Well,
I was walking the dogs.
He was texting me while he was brewing.
I was texting John the data. We were so excited about it.
Indeed.
In fact, I brought some samples of the double mash from.
Nice.
That was a show we did in January, and I did the double mash in early December, I think. So what are we? 2 or 3 months. It's still a young barley wine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to crack that open and try
We will taste that on the show tonight. I'll tell you. It sounds exciting down here at the Hop Grenade.
Indeed.
All right, let's do this. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we will talk. We'll do a recap of the Double Mash show, just brief, and then we will taste some beers, and you'll tell us about the Triple Mash brew.
Indeed.
Right after this.
Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blichmann Engineering has the answer. The Blichmann Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on two gorgeous Blichmann Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blichmann Tower of Power temp controller, and make moving around easy with the Blichmann Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlichmannEngineering.com and brew with Blichmann quality on your new Brew Easy. Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making. When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for every beer style. I want a Cicerone.
The Cicerone Certification Program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a Certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious. Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Back to the beer guys that make other beer guys look like wine guys. Brew Strong.
All right, we're back. So, John, why don't you recap for us what we did the previous show when we were talking a double mash using Mr. Jean Blichmann used the runnings from the first mash back into a new mash and got higher gravity that was additive essentially.
Right. And where this all started was, how do I brew big beers in a system that, I've got a fixed capacity that may brew let's just say a 060 or 070
Right.
beer. How do I brew a big barley wine if I want to do that in my equipment without having to make like a half-size batch? And we were at the NHC last year, and Jamil posed the question: what if you did a second mash with the runnings from the first mash? So I gave that a shot and brewed a barley wine. And it was a 5-gallon batch, and it had a 30-pound malt bill, and I evenly divided it into 15, 15, including all the specialty grains, et cetera, and went through and brewed that, and working with John, it was interesting how the actual gravities lined up with the water to grist ratio.
Right.
So, John, tell us about that.
Okay, well, as part of the work I've been doing for the next revision of How to Brew, I was looking at some data and working with Bob Hansen at Brees. We determined that the first runnings gravity for any wort is really dependent only on the water to grist ratio. And that is the water to grist ratio as a function of weight to weight. So here in the U.S., we're used to thinking in terms of quarts per pound. And in terms of weight to weight, that's nearly the same as saying liters per kilogram. So if you take like 1.5 quarts per pound, that translates up to 3 liters per kilogram, or very closely. And when you do that and you plot that using a Lincoln equation and so on, you get the gravity of the wort.
I prefer the Woodrow-Wilson equation. I'm just saying.
The Lincoln equation, yes.
Lincoln Logs?
No, I think it was from Stephen Lincoln that formulated the actual equation sometime in the mid 18th century or something like that. But anyway,
1837, I think it was.
Yeah,
it might be 38. I might be off. All right.
Yeah,
sometime around beer 30.
Yeah, and but yeah, so it just so what was interesting when John was doing this double mash was I emailed back and I said, "What's your water to grist ratio, and what's the gravity you're getting?" And he emailed back the data, and it's like, aha, that worked. It was exactly what the water to grist ratio had predicted the gravity would be. And another facet of this I've been interested in is, what's the wort retention factor of grain? How much wort is held back, and what does that mean in terms of batch sparging and no sparge, and your yield from a mass of grain and so on. And so this experiment that John was doing shed light on all of that.
Well, all right, so the amount of wort held in the grain, it's essentially, however much starch you pull out of the grain by weight is replaced by an equal weight of water. Is what your grain after the mash is approximately the same weight as the grain before the mash.
Yeah, when I was finding a lot of that was how much residual wort you left as far as in the bottom of the ton, where you could just definitely see.
Well, if you were to after you've drained everything out, if you were to lift grain off the top of the bed, it weighs about the same as it did before you mashed. The amount of water that it retains.
Really? That makes sense.
Yeah, it's fascinating because when we we're dealing with thousands of pounds of grain, and so we need to be careful about how much weight that we're lifting with the forklift and various things that we're doing, and it's fairly close.
That is interesting,
right?
Yeah. Well, so it was interesting when John was doing this experiment was that the wort gravity after the second mash, where you took the runnings from the first and then added that wort to your dry grain for the second mash. The wort gravity after the second mash was exactly what the water to grist ratio predicted in terms of an additive. So, John, the first runnings were something like 1090, I believe. Or no, sorry, 1036.
60 or 70 or something like that.
1046, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
1046, okay. And then you took that wort and mashed in the second round of grist.
Yep.
And you were at
1090 something.
90. So 46 doubled.
Right.
And here's the thing. It's the water that's becoming trapped in the spent grain. It's not the sugars. It's not like if you were to add this wort to the grain, that the sugars are working their way into the grain and are being retained by the grain. It's the water that's being locked into the spent grain, right?
Right.
That's why the sugars are being essentially additive. It's the water that gets trapped behind.
Yeah, and I was pretty careful about making sure that I drained slowly to try to capture as much of that as I could to pick up as many of the points. But
right,
definitely,
that has to be the answer because otherwise, if the sugars from the first runnings were somehow being entrained into the grain bed and not coming back out,
it would not have got those.
Right, you wouldn't
data.
get that same number. What's happening is those first sugars are just coming back. They're being ignored. It's water that gets exchanged for starch in the grain.
Okay, that makes sense.
See, I can convince John of anything.
So then we went on, and Jamil, I think he just does this just to drive me crazy.
I do this a lot, and people recently have emailed me and go, on the show you supposed this and that and the other thing. I'm going to go ahead and brew this beer. I'm like, great. Like I come up with, I didn't realize how much of this shit I come up with. Hey, I'm just supposing.
So I did the triple mash, and it was awesome because I got to stay in the basement on a freaking cold day and make a stinky mess so the kids don't come down and wife doesn't come down. Of course, they start at 5 in the morning. They're not up till 11. And just had a nice day of peace and quiet brewing and texting data to John. And so it was a great brew day.
So you did a triple mash.
A triple mash.
Did you do the quadruple? I think I asked for a quadruple.
No, I'm not going there.
Oh, yes, you are. Come on. You got minions.
I'm going to go into mild.
I'm
going on to English mild after this. So I did the triple mash then was 3 10-pound mashes. So it was the exact same recipe.
All right. So not bigger. You just I split it into three.
Into 3 because we're really trying to see, okay, does this really work or was that a coinkydink?
Interesting. I'll tell you this. Regardless of how you're doing your mashing, if you're doing all this creative stuff, one of the fundamental things that's important to brewing is water, right? And I know all you folks out there, obsess over water. I tell you, I got the solution for you on obsessing over water. It's called the Lamont Brew Lab, or the Lamont Brew Lab Plus, or the Brew Lab Pro. That's what we use at Heretic Brewing Company. We use the Lamont Brew Lab Pro to check our water on a regular basis, to make our adjustments based on seasonality of the changes in the water that they provide us. We've got great stable water, but with drought in California, our water's changing depending on the conditions. So we have to check it. It's easy to use. My guys are all up about how, hey, it's 15 minutes and we can check every parameter and we know it's accurate. It's as accurate as sending it out to a lab.
Now, what's the difference between those kits?
Well, the Brew Lab is the most important tests for the home brewer, and the Brew Lab Pro or Brew Lab Plus is the same thing plus a really nice pH meter that my guys love. It's a $115 pH meter. They give it to you for an extra $70.
And that's a deal.
Yeah, you're looking at $125 for the Brew Lab, and the Plus is just $195. So if you don't have a pH meter, I would go with the Plus. And
I have found a pH meter to be invaluable in just knowing where you're at.
You have to have
it's huge.
a pH meter. Any brewery and any home brewer not having a pH meter, that's just crazy.
Having a good one makes a
It's like having a speedometer in your car. Oh, no, I'm sure I'm going, whatever speed. No, you don't know. You have a general idea. It seems okay, but I'm telling you, without good instrumentation, you're screwed. And you get at least 50 tests in a kit. So for $2, you can check all your water parameters. I think it's money well spent, personally.
Indeed.
And then it's great. Palmer approves of it. I approve of it. I think John Blichmann, you approve of it.
Absolutely.
So check them out. Lamont.com.
I have noticed,
or check your local homebrew shop.
Read John's book and paid more attention to water. My beers have definitely improved.
Oh,
definitely.
Don't attribute that to Palmer. Just give him a big head.
And the yeast thing. The yeast book and yeast, that was huge.
Well,
too.
now that makes perfect sense to me. I'm just saying. All right, let's take a short break. When we come back, we will hear more about the triple mash. Very interesting.
All right.
Right after this.
A few things happened 30 years ago.
ARPANET migrated to TCP/IP, and the Internet was born. Revenge of the Jedi was renamed Return of the Jedi and opened in theaters. Mila Kunis and Emily Blunt were born, beginning a rad fantasy in my mind.
But all of that pales next to the fact that HopTech opened its doors and began blowing homebrewers right out of their mash tuns. HopTech doesn't fuck around. Real people shipping awesome shit straight to you. Their new website is fast and easy to navigate. Or just call 800-379-4677 and let badass bitch Jade and the gadget guy Roberto blow their warm load of customer service all over you. So visit the site or visit the store in Dublin, California and support those that support you. Get your brewing on at hoptech.com.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamil Zainashev, and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe until we were able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn-the-cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy-drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com. Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and the freshest ingredients, backed by the best customer service in the business. Do you like to mash using efficient fly sparging, but would like an easy way to heat your strike and sparge water? Enter the new Brewer's Edge electric mash water heater, a plug-in, anywhere, precisely controlled heater for strike and sparge water. Ditch the fumes and second burner and make mashing easy. Go to williamsbrewing.com today and browse their vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy the Williams way.
Back to the two guys that know how to turn beer into beer. This is Brew Strong.
All right, we're back. We're drinking all sorts of great beers. Monsieur Blichmann has brought from his cellar.
Yes, my 11-year-old Scottish
Wee
heavy. I brought my Wee.
You brought 11-year-old Wee.
That went from a Wee Heavy that sat in my fridge, and it was kind of one of those. Eventually, I made like 10 gallons of a Wee Heavy, and it's hard to drink that much of that big a beer, and it just kind of sat there for years and years and years, and it then it went through the. I accidentally froze all my beers once. I'm not going into that detail. and then I had to thaw it out, and then it was overcarbonated, so I decarbonated it, and then recarbonated it, and just did all sorts of inappropriate things to it. And I figured, what the hell? I'm gonna taste this beer and bottle it. It now tastes like an old ale.
Mm-hmm.
And it took first place at the Indiana State Fair.
That's a great old ale. It's got all the figgy, plummy, and all that esterification happening. It's got a rich maltiness and caramel notes to it, and some booziness to it. That's great.
It aged well, unlike Palmer.
Oh, don't even go there. That is a great old ale. I can see how that got first place. I'll tell you, there are first-place beers at Winter Brews Fest, which is now Spring Brews Fest because it overlapped with SF Beer Week, so they moved it. It's now going to be Saturday, April 2nd, 2016 at Todo Santos Plaza. Tickets online are $40. If you wait for the day of, you're paying $50. I'm saying it is so worth going. You're going to see some great breweries there. And you're going to see a great selection of beer. You can see there's going to be music. There's going to be food. Is Tasty having his Tasty's Corner thing?
Tasty's Tasting Tent,
there
I believe, is what it's called. I believe that is going to be happening.
I would think it'd be a molesting tent, but yeah, tasting tent, sure. We'll go with that.
I guarantee it's not going to be.
Right. A ton of great breweries. And I have always really enjoyed going to it. Unfortunately, this year I'm going to be in Sweden on that date. But because they moved it on me, I was going to be there otherwise.
Sweden.
I've never missed one. I love the Brewfest. It's bnbrewfest.com to get yourself some tickets. And check it out. It's across from the Hop Grenade at Todo Santos Park. So what I usually do is get my drink on at the Brewfest. And when I'm stupid drunk, I stagger across the street into the Hop Grenade, and then I make them take care of me. And they're all smiles, and they're like, yes, absolutely. And, I get in trouble, but that's fine. So
they have great pity on
since
you.
I cannot be here this year, you need to show up for me and stagger across the street afterwards to the Hop Grenade and talk to Kevin and tell him how much you love him. So there you go.
Indeed.
Be in Brewfest. Come knock it out of the park with us. Heretic will be there. I may not be there, but we're going to have some beers on. We take it very seriously. It's kind of like my backyard Brewfest. Done.
Excellent.
All right, so what were we talking about? You did a
triple mash.
A triple with 3 10-pound batches.
Right.
I would have done 3 15-pounders, but, that's me.
I'm trying
go
to
big
keep,
or go home.
what I'm trying to do on a purely scientific basis is validate that additive phenomenon.
You already did with a double. I want to see if it goes further.
You want to see how far it'll go?
I want to see if 3 15s will get us even further. 4 15s. Does 4 15s really get up?
Well, considering that
I'm not doing this till summer.
Yeah, it took
but he's doing
8 hours, 9 hours to do it all.
Yeah, it was probably about a 9-hour brew day. Well, there were some interruptions of different things in between, and I was really trying to get a highly attenuative wort, so I was mashing at about 148.
I'm telling you, I think we're going to do this at Heretic.
I'll come out and we'll do that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know if we can do
a double mash, a triple.
Yeah,
that took a while.
But we can get 15 plus 16 Play-Doh out of a mash, 2,500 pounds of grain. And I'm thinking, we do that run-ins, and then we slam in another slug of malt and do it again, and see if we can get up to like 30 Play-Doh.
I tell you, that second mash and the third mash, and maybe the fourth mash, it goes pretty quickly.
Oh yeah,
I was because you're fairly close to your strike temp, And, you just have to dump the grains and give it a quick spray down and load up, fill up your mash tun again. While you're cleaning it out, you can, bring it back up to your strike temp.
For us, it would be about the same. So we have hot water on hand.
Yeah, so you're like right there.
Everything's...
Yeah. So it actually, even from a homebrew standpoint, the second mash goes fairly quickly.
Everything's fairly hot.
There's not a lot of waiting. Yeah.
Well, John, I think also let people know, you were doing this on a 5-gallon Brew Easy system,
right? Uh-huh.
And so each batch was of 10 pounds of grain.
Mm-hmm.
And
but
so
you
doing
could have
that
fit
10 pounds,
15
you got...
Yeah, I can fit about 18 pounds in that, pretty full.
Oh, you should have done 3 18s. God damn it, John.
I let you down, didn't I?
What
in
were
the name of
the
science,
final gravity readings there, John, on the third mash?
I didn't bring the data with me. Shame. I will say after the boil, I was at 1 point, if I recall correctly, 1.12.
John, if you go back through your texts from John Blichmann, you'll see it with some emojis and some other things. You'll see all that data.
It's all there, John.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to bring up the pH too. Is interesting how stable yet decreasing that was.
Mm-hmm. It was a steady decrease in pH.
And this was mainly a pale mash, or
it was your old. What's your barley wine name?
Old Jamil's old barley wine.
Yes,
the English one.
I used Jamil's barley wine recipe. So just a little bit of chocolate malt, some 120 Live Crystal, and then just a general. I think I used Breeze malt 2-row for the base.
Interesting. And what sort of pH drop did you see from batch to batch?
We're going from about 5.15 down to about 5.05. Is that right, John?
I believe so.
It's like a 0.1 drop per batch.
Yeah, and those were readings at mash temp.
Okay. Yeah. If you're listening live, stay tuned. We're going to do a show all about questions about pH and mash and all that stuff. Okay. So what was the result? Did you experience the same thing by splitting it into 3 as you did in 2? I imagine that's the case.
Talk to us, John.
That's
indeed, that's what happened. Yes.
Well, that's why I was saying I expected that. You should have gone 3 15s, John. That's what I was talking about. 3 15s, 4 15s.
Oh my God!
The question is not can you get to the same way. I think you've proved that.
What is your goal in 18s, there, Jamil? What would you seek to prove?
Well, here's the thing, and I'm telling you, as a home brewer, and less of a scientist and more of a home brewer, is I want to know how big a gravity I can generate. What's the biggest gravity I can possibly produce? Now, if that's 4 mashes or 3 mashes or 2 mashes or 10 mashes, tell me, where this technique tops out. I want to know using, let's say, 15 is a good number, or 18 is a good number for my Brew Easy. I want to make like the biggest, baddest frickin' barley wine or Belgian strong that I can make. Where does the technique stop? So if I did 15 pounds once, twice, that seemed to work. Can I do it a third time, and is it still 100% additive? Can I do it a fourth time, still 100% additive? Where I got to imagine there's a point where the wort becomes so viscous that this does not work anymore because there's not enough water to replace the starch in the malt. Yeah?
Could be.
But that's
really,
the number I
3
want
mashes,
to know.
I would almost say that's got to be sneaking up on some of the limits,
right?
Especially the limits of my patience for mashing.
Well, you did 3 mashes at 10 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Was it still 100% additive?
Yes.
You ended up with the same thing?
Yeah.
So based off of that, assuming that the volumes that, if you had done 15, it would still be additive, right?
Yes, but decreasing as far as, because I'm dropping the water to grist ratio.
Right.
So in terms of the word out is what John is saying.
Yeah.
That, he wouldn't have had enough work to make it worthwhile.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. That's what a homebrewer wants to know. They want to know, how far can I push this? This is the beauty of homebrewing. This is what makes homebrewers like the greatest brewers in the world, is that they have this passion and this mindset of, well, that worked. How far can I push this? I don't care if it's fiscally viable. That's not what homebrewing is about. It's about making the best beer. Can I do it? Can I make something that nobody else can make? Can I really push the boundaries of what is possible? That is why homebrewing is the greatest brewing. This is why craft beer exists at all, is because of homebrewers. And anybody who doesn't appreciate that and understand that has got their head up their ass. Just because you sell beer does not make you perfect. Just because you sell beer does not make you greater than homebrewers. That just pisses me off to no end. Homebrewers are the ultimate of creativity and passion and, a WTF attitude towards, I don't care that it makes sense. I want to do something better, different, bigger, stronger, smaller, whatever. Right?
Indeed.
That's what's great about homebrewing.
So you're pushing me to make espresso beer.
Yes. Come on.
French press beer.
15 pounds on or 18 on every single one. I want to know when it stops making sense. That's what I want to know. And we should be able to scale this up on any scale.
For you, Jamil, I think it's about the fourth beer.
Yes, diminishing returns.
Yeah, right. Tell me where all of a sudden it doesn't make any sense. Can I get up to 1.3? Can I get up to 1.4? Where does it stop? Or is it 1.12 something and I'm done? Or is it 1.1, 8, 1.2? Well, tell me where it stops. That's what I need to know. That's the I guess I could figure it out on my own, but I want to know where that boundary is. Yes, I want you to do the work.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
That's John Blichmann innovating for you.
Right. There's lazy. That's
doing Jamil's grunt work. This is great.
Right. Well, I'll tell you who does a lot of grunt work for you. Great Fermentations. They've got all the Blichmann products, and they've got more Blichmann products on their website than any other homebrew shop. So if you're looking for great Blichmann products with great customer service, great knowledge about the products, I mean, these folks have been to Blichmann Engineering and are passionate about it. Go check out Great Fermentations. Great customer service. They can get you most of the Blichmann gear very quickly. All the popular items, it's in stock. They actually spend the money to stock it for you, so they don't have to go to John when he's down in the basement brewing and ask for stuff and all that. And it takes 3 weeks. No, instead, they get it to you quickly because John's too busy doing this other crap. He doesn't have time to fill in orders.
Jamil's research. But
I imagine they have the new anvil stuff too, huh?
Yes, they do.
They do. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. When we come back, I want to talk about some of the anvil stuff that you guys have been doing.
All right.
And we'll wrap up this whole triple thing. Since you did not do it the way I asked, I'm just saying. We'll have to wait for next show. There you go. That's right. All right. We'll be back right after this.
Ken Grossman of Sierra Nevada Brewing Company says making great beer is hard. Making the same great beer every day is harder. Brewers Publications announces its latest release for breweries of any type and size. Quality Management, an essential guide for brewers by Mary Pelletieri. Proper quality management for small, regional, and national breweries is critical. Whether you are an established business or brand new, learn the best ways to create and manage a quality system in your brewery. This book will guide you in developing a comprehensive program that will grow with your brewery, help ensure quality processes in the brewery, and continue providing great beer for your fans. Quality management for breweries is critical for continued success. This guidebook teaches you to integrate quality management in every level of the operation. It will guide you in developing a comprehensive program to ensure quality processes in your brewery. Quality Management, an essential guide for brewers, now available from Brewers Publications. Learn more at brewerspublications.com. Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support, like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and the Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer, whether for yourself or as a gift. When you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com.
Say hello to my little friend.
You've heard about White Labs Pure Pitch yeast. Pure Pitch is yeast grown right in its final packaging. That means yeast that has never been exposed to the environment. And White Labs Pure Pitch yeast for homebrewers is now available to everyone at homebrew retailers nationwide. Easy to use, perfectly sized, and ready to pitch. White Labs yeast, packaged using their Flex Cell process, ensures the purest yeast on the market. Visit whitelabs.com to learn more about Pure Pitch, Flex Cell technology, and how it's created. Then visit a homebrew retailer near you for your own perfectly sized package of Pure Pitch yeast. And you can say hello to your own little friend. www.whitelabs.com.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states. Plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small, single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy shit.
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
There are two types of people in the world, naughty and nice. GrogTag is letting you tell it like it is with their naughty or nice labels for the holidays. Grandma getting you down? Slap a naughty label on that 4-year-old pale ale and put it under the tree. Did your Uncle Sal add you to his will? Well, he deserves your freshest batch of IPA with a custom nice label. Pick up one set of each and take 25% off your order by either entering code NAUGHTY or NICE at checkout. We all know how much beer you have to get rid of, so why not make it look good? Go find them at grogtag.com and don't forget to sign up for their newsletter to learn about the Gifting with GrogTag 12-day sale during Christmas. GrogTag. At least your beer will look good.
Learning to brew has never been so disgusting. This is Brew Strong.
All right, we're back. Speaking of backs, Porno Steve, I'm sure you've seen plenty of backs.
Oh, yeah. And tattoos.
All kinds of backs.
And tattoos. A lot of tramp stamps.
Yeah, there's been some good ones.
Steve, do you need more?
Who doesn't need more?
That's right. Well, if you need more, go to adamandeve.com. You're going to get more. Go to adamandeve.com. You buy any one item, and then you use the offer code Jamil, Jamil. And what you're going to get is lots more. You get 10 times more. You're going to get a free special sensual item for her. A free...
They have slinkies?
A slinky. She wants a slinky. That's a large diameter slinky. I don't think I can fill that thing. I'm sorry. Essential item for her. Essential item for him. Essential item for the both of you. Right?
I think Beagle's getting delirious in there.
Is there enough oxygen in that room?
I need some coffee and oxygen.
I need something here. I was like, what can I do that's going to throw him off?
I really think the camera should be pointing that way.
It's aerial. They can see me.
There you go.
Entertaining.
And a free essential item for both of you. And then 6 free adult DVDs. Oh, you know you got some favorites in there. It's like, the dog wrapped in bacon DVD.
Bestiality is not my thing.
No, bacon wrapped sausage insertion DVD.
Bacon can't fix every woe in life. That's what beer's for.
Right.
Bacon beer.
And then, so 6 free adult DVDs. And free shipping amongst it. Shipping is the thing that a lot of these places, they give you some stuff for free, but they screw you on shipping. And it's like $45 to get shipped. All those things on TV, God damn it, piss me off. It's like, it's just like...
3 payments of $99.95.
Right. Oh, no, it's like, we'll send you one free. Just pay shipping and handling, which is like another $300. Oh, Adam and Eve doesn't do that. Just use the offer code Jamil, Jamil, at adamandeve.com, and they'll take good care of you. They're good people, good products, good prices. Yeah, you can't go wrong, adamandeve.com, for all your skeezy porno needs. I'm just saying. That's...
Hey,
right,
everyone has that side, man. Come on.
Right.
Come on.
Except Bevo.
Don't tell me this.
That is from a porno professional. Somebody who's been in the industry a good 30 years.
Seen all kinds of people.
No, there you go. There you go. It's whole kinds of people. Different strokes for different folks.
Gross.
It's human nature. It's natural.
Right.
It's okay.
It's natural.
Okay.
It's very pleasurable.
Moving along to triple mashing.
All right, yeah, triple mashing. Where were we? I've lost track. I think we're wrapping.
I guess we were kind of summarizing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So summarize for me.
John and I were awing on how awesome the data was, and you were saying we should have done something different.
I'm just saying, if you're going to do an experiment for homebrewers, talk to a homebrewer. Tell me what you're going to do, and I will straighten you out what us homebrewers want to hear. I want to hear boldness. I want to hear.
I'm going to be doing a pentamash this summer. I have this feeling.
Nice. Pentamash.
That just sounds cool.
It does. Quad mash doesn't sound cool as cool as pentamash.
Pentamash. You should trademark that right now. The Blichmann Pentamash.
Pentamash.
I think you should just trademark it for the
an automated
fun of it.
An automated machine that just mashes.
I am a pentamash.
Oh, all right. What about a continuous mashing
closer
machine?
Than a blade.
Quit blowing in my ear.
You are the guy who could make this. A machine where I just hook up a sack of malt and this thing just continuously
It takes a proportionate amount every time.
Just drains it out and does the mash and then recircs it back in until it reaches the limit of mashability. And that's the wort that comes out.
It's mashalicious.
Yeah. And then you could add water to it and drive it up to and set it to whatever gravity you want in whatever volume you would get.
It's crazy.
A continuous mashing machine.
But so crazy, it might just...
But I was thinking of other products that John should be inventing. And the
They're
one
all
that really,
Adam and Eve products. I'm sorry.
The one that really occurred to me was a coffee maker. I think a Blichmann coffee maker.
I nearly spit up my beer at that. Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's not a really good coffee maker on the market. I mean, you check them all out on Amazon, everything.
Triple brewed.
There's a million of them.
There's a million of them, and every
coffee.
single one of them has something wrong with it. I mean, it's like it's cheap, it's plastic, it breaks, it leaks. You know, not hot enough. And it's like I think if John were able to design a coffee maker, it would be awesome.
So these Italians don't know what they're doing.
They don't.
These $3,000 Italian machines are.
No, but we
crap.
want but we need the American $24.95 coffee maker that actually.
I don't think
works
Blichmann
with
could
him.
make a $24.95 coffee maker. I think he could make like the best goddamn coffee maker in the world, but it's gonna be $1,000.
It would give you coffee syrup.
Yeah. No,
Which
but
would be awesome.
Will it give me continuous
he's taken
coffee
the
syrup?
Blichmann top tier, Blichmann Engineering Boilermakers, and he's worked those down, lower price point, all the features with the Animal line. I think you could do it with the coffee maker too.
I'm just saying, beer is far more important to me.
Yeah.
So maybe
you got to stay focused.
Stay focused.
Yes.
Focus on beer. Well,
All
I'll
right.
tell you, one of the things that you've done for beer is actually done this Anvil line with John Palmer, who's a cheap motherfucker. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We've shared some
prefer
bills.
Mofo.
I don't know. So this is, fill us out on what's going on with this line. This is you're creating some products at a more price sensitive point. That are still solid, still, great for your brew day.
Reliable, durable, still high quality.
Mm-hmm.
We just saw a lot of products that were entering the market that were a lower price point, but the quality
was rough.
It varied a lot.
There's a lot of crap out there.
Yeah, we're all about quality. It's what we do. I wouldn't put my name on anything that
backing
is
up what
anything
you
less.
say. Right.
And this was a product line that we could produce a really nice quality, durable product, but it doesn't have all the high-end features of the Blichmann line. We're still extremely particular about our suppliers.
Right.
In fact, I would, to a large degree, hate to be a Blichmann supplier because we're pretty particular.
I bet you're a real prick in business. I'm just saying.
Attention to details.
A goddamn pain in the ass to deal with. It's got to be perfect.
Call me a prick,
I gotta get
but a
it
prick's
at a good
got a
price.
head on it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, John, I mean, you've interviewed and gone to done supplier audits essentially with all your suppliers, haven't you?
Yes, I've gone. And a number of these are imported just to get the price where it needs to be.
Right.
But I'm very particular again about who I will have as a supplier. So I went to visit these suppliers and. Before we made our final selection. And in China, things range all over the board. I wanted a supplier that was very quality-focused, that treated their people well, because if people are well-treated, they produce quality products. I wanted a supplier that...
so I should stop beating the people at Heretic, is what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
I wanted a supplier that had a lot of automation. I mean, just things as simple as lighting. I want a supplier that used proper lighting so they could see the product to make sure that they were doing it right. I wanted a more modern facility. I actually visited a supplier where a number of our competitors' products were produced, and it was not a facility that I was wanting to make our product in. So we found a facility that was great. The people were friendly, just amazing, good people. They took pride in their work. The management there treated them like family. I think that's important. And a lot of automation. they cared about the people and their safety. I was very impressed, and I really like the products that are coming out of there for us. So, so that was a great trip, and I'm very happy with the suppliers that we've got for the product. So,
yeah, I think the products look great too. I mean, they're heavy duty. They're very bright, very blemish free. It's just great looking products.
Yep.
I'm happy with them. I mean, it's John and I had talked over the last couple of years about business opportunities together, and getting Palmer Brewing Solutions, my brand, behind it, and working and developing some products. Some unique products in the industry.
Mm-hmm. One was the burner, the new Anvil burner.
Yeah, the burner. I'm really pleased with.
That's a phone you use for drug deals, or
the burner.
Blichmann Engineering's burner.
The burner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Self-destructs.
There you go.
No, it's
got all the top drug dealers on speed dial, pre-programmed.
No,
go ahead.
You threw him.
Yeah. Well, how does burner and phone work together?
Burner phone, like drug dealer.
Right,
burner
it's a
phone.
burner. You toss it after you've used it.
It's usually an inexpensive phone that you can use. It doesn't really
Have you
matter.
not watched Breaking Bad or something?
No, I've never watched
those
that
kind of
show.
things. Yeah.
It just seemed like everybody was mean on it. I just wasn't interested.
Who's mean on it?
John doesn't like mean people. Who likes mean people?
So anyway, the new Anvil burner. We designed a cast aluminum burner, so saves a lot of weight, but it's high efficiency like the larger Blichmann burner, and performs really well at much better price.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you have all these things at anvilbrewing.com.
Mm-hmm.
So check them out. If Blichmann and Palmer are willing to put their names to it, then that's all I need to know. They're not gonna sell you crap. They're going to sell you something that's a value. I think value-oriented goods where you spend your money and you get value for money. I think you get that with the Blichmann line of products. I think I think the investment might be a little bit more, but I think the value's still there. I don't think there's anything you sell that isn't a value. But if you don't have the resources to get the top of the line best stuff that you can possibly get, there's stuff that you can get that is still solid and still reliable and still going to do a great job for you, and your value range is lower. But I think that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for the cheapest. You're not looking for the most expensive. What you're looking for is value in anything you do. And sometimes that value, you're being returned, more because you invested more.
Yeah.
The thing you don't want to do is pay money and get screwed. It doesn't matter if you paid a little bit of money or a lot of money. If you don't get returned value for that, then you got screwed.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a penny or $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
You can either get a great value or you can get screwed.
Yeah.
And the devil is in the details, and those are the things that we pay close attention to.
Right.
On those, just to make sure that things are very solid. The microstructure of the stainless, the quality of the welding, all that. It's very important.
Yeah. You don't want something that's going to rust through, be a piece of crap, and fall apart on you, after 5 brews. You want something that's going to last you a long time. Maybe it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but that's solid brew gear that's gonna help you make great beer, time and time again.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a lot of homebrew, spirit. I mean, in the do-it-yourselfer, making your own equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But when you decide that yes, I'm going to spend money on a piece of equipment, you want that equipment to be, elegant in its function and its high quality. I mean, when you bring it home, you want that feeling that you got a great deal because, this was money well spent. This is not something you could have produced on your own. And, from the burner, the way we engineered that, to the anvil pots, to, the other products we're
scales and spoons, just even simple things. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other products we got in the pipeline.
Razor blades, mirrors, all that stuff. Heroin needles. You find it all anvilbrewing.com. All right. Great show. Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned if you're listening live. We're going to do a live Q&A about pH right after this. I don't know, John, can you stick around?
I can hang around.
We got beer, so...
I'm here, baby. I'm all about hydrogen.
All right. If you enjoyed this show, realize that it's Mr. John Blichmann that decides to pay for the show so you don't have to. At the very least, you could go to freaking BlichmannEngineering.com, check out all the goodies they have there. I'm not saying you have to buy anything, but at least learn about what they have to offer. Check out anvilbrewing.com, what they have to offer. And, if you enjoy what you hear, send a nice email to John at BlichmannEngineering.com.
Love to hear from you guys.
And just tell him that you enjoy the show, or you think he's funny, or you think he's interesting, or you appreciate that he actually does some of this experimentation himself on your behalf. I think that's totally cool. I don't know of any other sponsor in the Brewing Network who does that. So, big kudos to Mr. John Blichmann. Thank you very much for 8 years of sponsorship. You've been wonderful, and I really appreciate it.
Love to do it. Brew Strong, everyone.
Yeah, you can also check out thebrewingnetwork.com/store. Hoodies, growlers, hats, skateboards, wax for your skis. They got it all. Brazilian waxes. They've got certificates for that.
Bevo's shaking her head.
Absolutely, yes. He says yes. It's in stock, the Brazilian waxes. Check them out. BrewingNetwork.com store. Every penny goes to the bottom line of the Brewing Network and helps keep shows like this on the air for you. Until then, everybody, brew strong.
Brew strong, everyone.